Hey, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, today's podcast episode, I want to talk about side hustles and why they are rarely successful. Now, you may be thinking, well, Barry, why are you talking about side hustles? I thought this was a podcast about, passion to profits, building a business around my passion. Well, that's true. But the information and the advice I'm going to give you in this podcast episode is really going to help you as well, too. Because in the beginning of this podcast series, I want you to have a really strong foundation. I want you to have your mindset right, because whatever goes on in here is going to affect what you do with these things. And I don't want you building a foundation or a business on a foundation that's just weak and that's just going to collapse. And that whatever you're about to do right now, over the next couple of days, weeks, years, is going to collapse. I want you to build a business that is sturdy, strong, and going to be around for a long time. So we need to work on the foundation first. And this podcast episode hopefully will improve your mindset, or actually make you see your business in a different light because of what I'm about to tell you. So why are side hustles rarely successful? Well, it's for these three reasons. First reason, the wrong person is doing them. Too many people come online wanting to make money, but want the money but don't want to give anything in return. They don't want to do a kind of fair exchange of value. If you have a blog and you're looking to get blog readers, no blog reader is going to subscribe to a blog that has no content on it. So if you want a blog reader, if you want someone to subscribe to your blog, of course, you have to write a blog post. You have to write articles first for that person to follow you. So you need to give them value first for them to follow you. Too many people come on with the mindset of, I can just throw up a website, I can throw out an affiliate link, I can just say any random gobbledygook on social media and people are just going to pay me. In their mindset, it's like, as the great Earl Nightingale said one time, it's like sitting in front of an empty fireplace, expecting a fire to warm you that isn't there. Now, common sense would tell you that if you want to warm yourself by the fire, you have to build the fire. You have to get the kindling, you have to get your matches, you have to get the paper, you have to get the sticks, and then you have to build that fire, and then you can sit back and enjoy the heat. And that's what these people don't realize, is that you need to build the fire. You need to build the content. You need to create products, services. You need to help people for the value and the money to come back to you. So you need to do the work first, and then the value comes back to you. And again, with these people, another reason why they are the wrong people is they're just not willing to do the work. They want easy money. They just assume that if I show up today, it means people are going to pay me cash. They're not willing to sit down and write blog posts. They're not willing to, to reach out to an audience, to get outside their comfort zone, to do things that are difficult. And because they don't want to stretch themselves, don't want to work on themselves, don't want to put in the work, well then, that's why they're never successful. So that's the main reason, or the first reason I would say to you of why people aren't successful, is because basically they're the wrong people. They don't want to do the work, they assume that they're going to get money for nothing, and they're not committed. They will not sit down every day and maybe write a blog post or record a video like this or do a podcast or whatever. They'll just do it sporadically. And they assume that if they do work sporadically, well, the money's going to turn up. But no, the money doesn't turn up if you do things like that. You have to be committed. Now, the second reason why people rarely make money with side hustles is because they're working on the wrong thing. Because someone says, well, I'm making money on this side hustle here where you just throw random links out in social media, you're going to make money. And so they just do that. And it's the wrong thing, because you're not actually building anything. You're just throwing random spam out on the internet, hoping that something is going to come about. So when it comes to building something, you need to have some constructive thing built. Something that's going to build and grow over time. So if we take the example maybe of a store, you see a lot of stores who will advertise in the local paper, promote a sale or whatever that they have, and then, as you would expect, have the customers turn up to the store and buy items in the sale. Now, what these store owners never do, and I'd be very surprised if you know any store owner who does this, who, as you make your purchase, actually stops you for a moment and says, well, you know something, we have maybe this draw that we have here, and would you be interested in joining it? Would you mind maybe giving your email address? Or would you mind maybe if we could get your contact details? Or would you mind that maybe we put you in a little club, that we have this kind of club of regular customers, regular shoppers who get extra discounts because they come here often. Now, you're going to find that when you actually pay for your purchase, you're going to walk out the door and that store owner is going to do nothing to grab your details, try and get in front of you again, maybe in your email inbox or reach out to you on social media. No, they're just going to let you walk out the door. And then what they'll do again is they'll go ahead and put another advertisement in the paper trying to get you to come back, instead of actually grabbing you at the moment when you're giving them money and hold on to you as a customer. And again, it's like a lot of those side hustles. People are just throwing stuff out all the time and not actually building an audience, not actually building an email list, not actually building a list of customers. Sometimes whatever product they are selling is something that someone else is selling to that person. So they don't actually get the customer's details. So they don't even have a list of who's actually buying the products, which if they did and could hold on to, would mean that they could market to that audience again and again and again. And then as their audience grew, as their subscribers grew, as their buyer list grew, it means they can make more money because they've something here that they can control and that's growing. But unfortunately, too many people on these side hustles are just throwing stuff out and not actually building anything, not actually building a foundation. And whatever effort they do today, if they stop putting in the effort, it's just going to fade away. Whereas if they were actually building something that they could control and they could hold on to subscribers, email subscribers, followers on social media, whatever. If they could hold on to that group, they can market to that group again and again and again and again. So again, most times they do the wrong thing and they never make any money out of it long term because they're constantly having to feed the machine to get the money out. And the third thing I would say to the people why they're rarely successful with side hustles is because they see it as a side hustle. They see it as something that I just do in the evening or something I just do for a couple of hours at the weekend. And what they're thinking is that I'm doing this side hustle because I want to make maybe an extra $1,000 this month, or maybe $2,000, or maybe only $100 a week or whatever. But because they see such a small figure, I want you to think about this for a moment. If you are just building a side hustle that you hope is only going to bring in $100 or maybe $1,000 a month, do you really think that that number, because of its size, is going to motivate you, is going to inspire you, is going to get you to get outside your comfort zone and take action every single day? Now, if you maybe increased the figure that you were looking to get from your side hustle from maybe $1,000 up to maybe $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 a month, if your eyes were up there, I'm sure you could see that you would be far more committed, that you would actually show up regularly, that you'd be constantly writing blog posts and constantly making videos and constantly, being online to build that business because you're looking at a huge amount of money that you are hoping to achieve from that side hustle rather than the $100 or $1,000. I'm sure you can see, if you think at a higher figure, it's going to make you more committed. It's going to make you want to do the work because your eyes are up here instead of looking at a small amount that if it doesn't show up, well, it doesn't show up. If it don't make the $100,000 or the $100 or the $1,000, well, it's no big deal. It's going to be no change in my life. Why would anyone get outside the comfort zone for an extra $100? Why would someone sit down right now in front of a video like this or a camera like this and even if they've never recorded videos, actually force themselves to make videos for TikTok or YouTube or whatever if it's only for the sake of an extra $100? Whereas if their mindset was on earning $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, I'm sure you can see that that thought would commit you to force yourself outside your comfort zone because that's where you're going to. So in my mind, those are the three reasons why people aren't successful with side hustles. First of all, they're the wrong person. Second, they're doing the wrong thing. And 3, they're keeping their target too low. So as I said, I know this was about side hustles, but I'm sure you can see that even in your own case, working a business around your passion, that if you're not the type of person that's willing to put in the work, that's willing to show up consistently, that's willing to build a business that you can control, that's under your control, customers, email list, subscribers, whatever, that you can control. I'm sure you can see that if you don't have that in place, your passion business isn't going to do well. And as well too, think about a nice big income. Think about you achieving that. And I'm sure as you think about achieving that, you're going to find no problem sitting your butt in the seat today, writing your blog post, creating your social media content, reaching out to other people, getting on their podcasts, getting on their blogs, or doing things outside your comfort zone, because that is where your eyes are, up here. So hopefully this podcast episode has helped you out. If you do have any comments or you'd like to share anything with me, feel free to leave a comment below this podcast episode. But as always, thanks for sharing your time with me today. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.